I've seen a lot of crazy things in my life, but nothing gets my spidey sense of tingling like a new Hive update. So ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Hive Bedwars. Yes, Hive Bedwars is replacing Treasure Wars. In this video I'm going to be breaking down why I think this isn't such a good idea, so let's jump right into this. Now this concept sounds really good on paper. Adding Bedwars to your Minecraft server sounds excellent, especially considering Lifeboat has it and it is one of, if not their most popular game. However, this rebranding seems overall stupid, because Treasure Wars is already a staple of the Hive. Treasure Wars has been there for 5 years and has an established community. It's a unique and fun take on a pre-existing game mode. Heck, even CubeCraft has Egg Wars, so throwing that all away because you think players will find it confusing is just plain dumb. Also, the claim that it's confusing doesn't really add up in the first place. Maybe a few years ago people wouldn't have known what Treasure Wars was, but now majority of people know that Treasure Wars is a game directly inspired by Bed Wars, so changing it now is just a waste of your unique concept. Now let's talk about level resetting. Level resetting is probably the most controversial thing in this update, and in my opinion, it's by far the worst. First of all, the thousands of hours people invested into Treasure Wars are now just going down the drain. Hive claims the stats will be saved on their leaderboards, but what's really the point? Archiving the stats gives me about as much satisfaction as writing my levels and cosmetics down on a napkin. It's literally useless, but let me make it worse. The Hive said they'd be giving 3 different types of hats to the top 100,000, 10,000, and 1,000 players from January 1st to September 1st, 2023. This immediately falls apart when Splodger himself confirms that there is no way to see where you place. However, even if you could see where you place, you can't grind to get a higher spot because it ended before this update was even announced. Meaning, what's really the point of playing Treasure Wars anymore? Any cosmetics or grinding you do will be wiped, and you can't play to earn the hats anymore. I don't see a reason why anyone would be compelled to play Treasure Wars anymore, and the funniest thing is that the Hive is the only one to blame for that. And you see now, do you really trust Hive? Because for me this completely discourages me from grinding any of their other games. Who knows when I'll wake up one day and it'll decide to reset some more levels for the next update. Especially for the sweats. I can't imagine they'd want to play as much knowing Hive decided to reset their levels on a dime. This entire thing will seriously break trust in the community. Now let's talk about Evan's response to this reset. He thinks that's a good idea because it will give everyone a fair chance at the leaderboard since it was near impossible to get a spot before. To be fair, the sweats in Treasure Wars are crazy, however they're not just going to get erased from existence when Bed Wars releases, it's still going to be just as difficult to get a spot on the leaderboard. Not to mention, the too many sweats argument doesn't hold up as far as I could see. While I was recording this video, I won 5 solo games of Treasure Wars in a row. It was late after school hours on a Monday, and there wasn't any sweats as far as I saw. My next problem is a small one that lies with custom servers. Treasure Wars custom servers are going to be completely wiped out. This includes games like Treasure Wars Sumo and Treasure Wars Free Shop. The easy solution to this would be to just keep Treasure Wars in custom servers. That way streamers and groups of friends can still play it there. Another small nitpick I have is that the Hive is adding a damage indicator mechanic into Bed Wars. This isn't bad, but just seems odd considering none of the other game modes have or will be getting this feature as far as we know. Not to mention CubeCraft has damage indicators and they can be kinda wonky. Now let's talk about Evan's response video. He claims Treasure Wars is bad but says absolutely nothing to back up that claim. If it has to do with the sweats, I already addressed why that doesn't exactly add up. He basically just announces the update instead of giving his complete thoughts, which I found to be kinda odd. This response seems bland and forced. Heck, he's recording in his dorm room and basically whispering. It feels like he either made the video because Hive forced him to, or he felt obligated to. Even Danny was in the Hive Discord server defending Bed Wars like it was his long-lost child. Honestly, it sounds like Hive has some influence on what their partners say. This sounds like an outrageous claim at first, but Splodger felt the need to specify to a server booster that they don't pay their partners to say stuff. Now, I'm not saying they pay their partners to say stuff, but the idea that they have some influence on what they say doesn't sound that far-fetched. Now let's talk about my solution to this. It's actually very simple. Make Bed Wars its own separate game mode. This might seem crazy, but remember Hive has and still does treat Skywars kits like its own game. This solution means that sweats can keep grinding Treasure Wars and casual YouTubers can play Bed Wars. This solution would also include separate leaderboards and separate levels. Again, this works because the idea is cool, it's just the execution that backstabs the community. Also, please don't send hate to anyone mentioned in this video, because even though the overall update is really terrible, the effort is still there. Hive is trying to make something good for their community, and I respect that. So that's going to be it for today's video. Make sure to let me know down below in the comment section what your thoughts are on Hive Bed Wars. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.